What's up? It's Rich from Major Tech Geeks, and today I'm going to talk about your privacy when using cloud backup services. And particularly, I want to touch on encryption. Now, encryption is something that most, if not all, cloud backup services offer to protect your privacy. But what I want to really talk about is custom encryption, and that's an additional feature that you can use to further protect the privacy of your data while using these services. So let's get started. All right, so first things first, I want to start off with encryption. Now, encryption is something that's used by cloud backup services to maintain that your information stays secure and stays private and that no one knows what is in your data while it's sitting on their servers. So to demonstrate that so you get a good grasp of what's going on, I'm going to show you what's going on here on this whiteboard. So before you even we even start off with your files and backing up stuff, when you first sign up for a cloud backup service, what they do is they generate a key for you. So here's your cloud backup service. And what they do is they generate a key for you. And that key, if you could just think of it as a super long password. It's just a super long password that they use to encrypt your files. So now you just signed up for a cloud backup service. They generated this key for you, the super long password. And now it's time for you to back up your data. So let's say you wanted to back up a Word document that's right here, and it consists of A, B, C, D, E, F. So what that cloud backup service is going to do is going to take that key that they have for your account. They're going to take it and apply it to this file. They're going to apply it there, and then they're going to scramble it. Now, what they do there is, based on this computer algorithm thing that they have, they're going to take your key and they're going to encrypt it. They're going to encrypt this file, and so when they encrypt it, it's basically going to turn out to be something like this. Pound sign, at symbol, exclamation point, capital Z, capital B, and then, 8. And the only way to know what the heck this really is to have that encryption key. So let's say you actually needed that file back. Let's say, something happened, your computer froze or, crashed and, you lost that Word document and you need to get it back. So what that cloud backup service is going to do is it's going to say, okay, let's take this file that we have sitting on our computer. We're going to apply this key to it. You're going to apply your key to it, and then we're going to decrypt it so that you can have the original. You have the unscrambled version of your file. So it decrypts it, and basically you get the A, B, C, D, E, F again. So the main thing you need to take away from this is that this key is very important. Without this key, you can't get your file back. You can't get your file back, so you need this key. And this key sits on your cloud backup service. They manage it. They keep it safe and secure away from everyone else, and only you have access to it when you need to recover or when you need to encrypt a file. Okay, so now that you know what encryption is all about, now we can discuss custom encryption. Now, basically, remember when I said that key is very important? That key is ultimately what makes the difference between custom encryption and the regular cloud backup storage managed key encryption. So remember, that key is a super long password. Just think of it as a super long password that you can create. Now, that key allows you to encrypt your file. So it allows you to take this and make it into that and then go back again. Now, the main difference, the key difference, pun intended, the key difference is that instead of the cloud, your cloud backup service provider managing your key, instead of that key sitting with them, that key now sits with you. So you create your own key. And now instead of that key being up here in the cloud, that key now sits with you. And the main thing is that now that it sits with you, your backup service has no way of knowing what that key is. They have no clue what you made that custom key to be. You can make that key anything in the world that you want. And the good thing is that it is super secure. Only you have the key to unlock your data. Only you have the key to take this and put it into this. But what's more important is you only have the key to take this and bring it back to normal, to that. So with that being said, since your cloud backup service provider doesn't know what it is, if you lose it, if now you lose it and you have no idea what it is, they cannot recover that for you. In other words, all you have is files that look like this now. And you cannot go back to this because you don't know what the key is. You don't know what the key is to do the decryption process. So it is very important, and that's the main difference. Now you create your own key and you keep it. You keep it in a safe place instead of the other way around. So there are drawbacks to when you create your own custom encryption key. And the first thing to go is your mobile access to your data. So with that being said, the only way you can access your data is on a computer that has your custom encryption key installed into it. So what that means, and I'll actually demonstrate it for you so you can kind of get a visual. So the reason why this happens is because, here's your computer. Here's your computer, and every file that you want to back up, it goes to that same encryption process, but think of it as being encrypted twice. What your cloud backup service provider does is it encrypts it. And again, if you wanted custom encryption, they kind of basically say, okay, they want it super secure, so let's encrypt it twice. We'll encrypt it with our key, and we'll take that file and we'll scramble it up. But when you create your own custom encryption key, when you create your own, now this file gets encrypted and scrambled up again with your key. So now this thing is like really, really scrambled. And with mobile access, they only decrypt it once based on this key, based on the cloud backup key. And what that means is that since your stuff is double encrypted, you cannot access it on a mobile device because your mobile device doesn't have your custom encryption key installed into it. Only a computer with that with your key installed can access your files, because only a computer with their software and your key installed into it can decrypt the files twice, can decrypt it however they just encrypt it. So that's the first thing to go, is your mobile access. And the next thing to go is actually your recovery by mail. Now let's say something happened to your computer and you need to recover your files. But let's say you backed up a lot of information. Let's say you backed up like hundreds of gigs. I'm talking a whole bunch of videos and movies and pictures and files, and you have a lot of data in your cloud backup account. And let's say something happened to your computer. Let's say it crashed, and lightning hit it or something, and you need to get all that data back. Now, let's say you try to download it, and since it's so much data, it literally said it was going to take weeks. It was going to take 3 weeks for you to download all of that stuff. It was going to take weeks to download. Now, one option that some cloud backup service providers give you is a chance to send it by mail, and instead of it taking weeks, let's say 3 weeks it said, it can take about 2 to 3 days depending on what option you send it. So if you send it by mail, you get it back to you in 3 days. Now, they do provide a lot of cloud backup services provide this option, but when you create a custom encryption key, they may or may not, depend on how their systems are created, they may or may not be able to allow you to use this option. And it's again because of the encryption or however they choose to do it. Sometimes they say, hey, if you create your own custom encryption key, we cannot provide this, restore your documents by mail option. So those are some things that you have to keep in mind. So now that you know what custom encryption is all about, now that you know the pros, which is very secure, only you have the key to basically unlock or unscramble or decrypt your information. Um, and you also know some of the drawbacks. If you lose your key, you're kind of you're pretty much screwed because no one can unlock your files now. No one can unscramble them to make sense out of those files. And also, you lose access to mobile. You lose mobile access to your data, and you may also lose restore by mail options if you need it. Now, if you're someone who's very skeptical, who, you're all about your privacy, you don't, for some reason, like the idea or even trust that, these companies can keep your data private and secure, then by all means, look for those services that offer the ability to create your own custom encryption key. But if you're just an everyday user, you just want to keep your files safe, you feel that your stuff is safe, private, and secure on these cloud backup services. And most of all, you don't want to lose mobile access or those restore options. Then just leave it the same. Just you don't have to look for or limit yourself to just services that have the ability to create a custom encryption key. So with that. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, definitely contact me, and I will see you in the next section.